Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel for another album share. This is going to be my son's second album, and that is all that I've completed so far for both of my kids. But yeah, so if you guys are just now joining me and just trying to get caught up, I am filming this before I take off for almost a week. I think we're going to be gone for 4 days. I fly out in 2 days, so I'm trying to get all this done for you guys so that way you have some content on my channel. And yeah, and I know that you guys have also been, I've gotten quite a few people wanting to see what my completed albums look like, especially using that Chatterbox Basic Ray. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, that doesn't make its way in here. Maybe newer lines, but I don't think so. So yeah, anyways, and then hopefully when I get back, I leave in 48 hours, and I'm hoping that I have us all packed and that I created a couple layouts so when I do get back, I will have more content for you guys. All right, so let's just jump on in. You guys all know that I've loved that little U by Crate Paper, so of course I was trying to think of different ideas of how to use it, and I really thought it would be fun to kind of, even though he's now going from 1 to 2, just to have that baby picture of us, or baby pictures of him on that first page. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep on using it until I run out. So here it is, our baby boy. Such a sweet photo, and lots of fun doing the circles. This was with Redefine Creative, Christina Sort. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name. So Christina, I apologize if you're even watching this. Sorge or Soray, she did this as a challenge, and it was a lot of fun and a great way to use stamps and a lot of inking. So I had fun with this one. All right, so there is I removed them all from the pocket sleeve except for the Project Life or the pocket cards, so, or pocket sleeves. So there will be a little bit of glare on some of them, and I apologize for that. All right, so this is when my son, I was actually pregnant with my daughter, and my son got to meet his great grandpa for the first time, his one and only time. That was the only time that we could go out there. But yeah, I mean, they're unfortunately no longer with us, but I'm glad that I have the photos that I do have. And there's his great grandma. She was literally smitten with him. She just had the biggest kick and wanted him with her at all times, which was so darn cute. Yeah, they were so happy that we were able to come out and see them. So, all right, so here, this was a challenge that, oh gosh, what was her name? Ashley something. She used to have, oh, I can't even think of, because there's so many people in this community, but she had her own, not Cut to You, but her own company at the time, her own die cut file on Etsy, and she did this challenge, and I thought, okay, I'll join. And so I did, and this was a lot of fun of stitching circles and just adding my own embellishments. I really like this paper by My Mind's Eye. I think it's, I forgot, My Boy or something like that. Right, whoops, this way. All right, so here is another fun one. This was kind of the trend back in the day. I've seen where it was one whole piece of paper. I actually had some of it, and I just used it to frame the 4 photos of him with all his different expressions, because he is just one funny kid. All right, so now we're moving on to Christmas pocket page. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of photos, so I just tend to put it in a pocket page, and this is what I mean. If you saw my son's first album, we didn't get any photos, so this is all that I had of that day. So I was a little bummed. Even my parents were there, and I didn't get any pictures. I mean, it was just so busy. So I did do stitching around here just to kind of add some interest on the journaling card. All right, here's him with his computer. He wanted a laptop, so this is when he got his laptop to be like Daddy and Mommy. So super cute. All right, so I have sometimes where I have favorite outfits, and I love this shirt on him. He definitely is not my sports kid. I thought he was going to be a sports kid, but he didn't, and that's okay. So he found his love for his passion for surfing. But yeah, this is when I thought, oh, he's going to be a football player. But he had no interest in sports, which is okay. So I no longer buy anything sport related because of that, even though, I mean, because I still have quite a bit that I could always use if we ever go to a game. But all right, so then this is when I started really honing into the pocket pages by month. So that's why I said there's going to be a lot of pocket pages that have that are in their sleeves, so that way I could show them to you. But yeah, here's just one that I did. Here's a cut apart sheet that was coming with collections, and I just wanted to use them up. So if I didn't have any matching paper, I mean, this is from 3 different companies, 3 different collections, and actually 4 collections to tie in with this 3x4 card cut apart sheet. All right, so here's I am using that little U again, even though you know, to me, he's still a baby, even though he was, you know, a little over a year. And so I just used that collection as well and tied it all in and made it look super cute with his baby sister, because now his baby sister is home. I mean, just look at those cheeks. Oh, I'm telling you, I'm like obsessed with baby cheeks. All right, so then here is my picture of us, because like I said, I didn't take too many photos of us, so anytime that I found one, I definitely wanted to document that. And I just made this kind of like a, even though he's wearing teddy bears, I had it where I wanted to use up dinosaurs, because I thought, when am I going to use up dinosaurs? And I played off that with "Roar means I love you" in dinosaur, and I thought that would be super cute. That I did not come up with the title. I seen that somewhere, maybe it was on a card or somewhere, and I used that. All right, this is a fun story. This is Zoe Cocoa Vanilla very first collection. Way back in the day, this was her first release. I somehow came across it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this paper. I want to order some. Couldn't find it, and then I realized when I found out who the company was, it was based in Australia, and I would order all of my collections from Australia because nobody here in the US had them, and so I would pay this expensive shipping to get it because I did not care, because she had become instantly my favorite company. I loved her. This will be, I will say, the first time that I actually when this came out, and I don't even know when. I'd have to look and see if I even have any branding strips that say it. But this was the first company that I actually was like, oh my God, I love this brand. I mean, I liked, of course, Basic Grain Chatterbox, but because it had all these embellishments and stuff, yes, I was hooked the very first release that she did. And I'm so glad that I actually have it. And I have just about almost everything she's made on her most recent ones now, because I've just got such a huge supply. I tend to maybe get every other one. So there's been about 1 or 2 that I have not purchased, but when she does release a boys collection, because boy collections are rare, I will buy them. So this was a lot of fun. And I actually still have some of this, the cut apart sheet, that I'm like, I just need to knock this out and finish up with this collection because I just want to use it all up. All right, so here again, I'm using that crepe paper little U or little one, whatever it is, collection, and I just tied it in with with his sister. And I even used some of the girls collection from that to tie in with his. Super cute. He was so smitten. He just wanted to take care of her and be with her, and instantly like a good big brother. And he still is that day. I mean, don't get me wrong. They have their moments when they do tend to fight, but most of the time they are together, and there's no kids for them really to play with around here. So they just have each other. All right, so there is Grandpa, and this is that one time that he got to meet his grandpa, so I thought this was cute. So, yeah, any pictures that I had, I snapped up and documented. All right, this is when my sister flew out again to come and visit us, and he had his pool. So of course he was like, we were all just hanging out, barbecuing, and he was having fun with his pool. We had the bubbles. We were all entertaining him. So, oh, this is also by Coco Vanilla. This is her, I think this was her first beach collection. I think that this was her very first one. Gosh, I love her stuff. Okay. And here we go. This is another one where I'm trying to use up, where if I have a little bit of something, I definitely try to use up. This is when I was trying to stamp on backgrounds. This was My Mind's Eye, My Boy, I think it is. Use some Imaginescence, I think it's called. Here I used that glossy accents again, where I painted the wood veneer and then I added glossy accents to it. Definitely makes the more saturated look, but I still like it. All right, so here I tried a different pocket sleeve that I purchased. This is also by Becky Higgins, and I just wanted to see how I felt about these. I actually do like this, but it's hard for me once I already did one side on the A style to switch. So I'm always trying to like remember, like just grab one of these and throw them in there. So this was a lot of fun, switching it up a little bit. Oh, this is Coco Vanilla, and this is not Coco Vanilla. This is Echo Park, I think. How fun. Okay. And yeah, just using some Ali Edwards stamps. Again, just I mix up. I have no problem mixing up collections. That's always fun. Oh, he was a little turkey. He loved to get in the cabinet where he knew all the snacks and stuff were. Oh my goodness. All right, so this is him trying out soccer. This is, of course, before we even realized that he was not going to be into sports. But it was really fun because they did like not really soccer. It was more like just kicking the ball, playing Hungry Hungry Hippo, which this would be the Hungry Hungry Hippo, and you got to feed them the balls by kicking it in. And he just ran around. And at this time, he had fun. It wasn't until he got older that he was like, nope, Mom, this is not for me. And I said, okay, no problem. And then here he is, just again, his sister was in the little walker, which even though we had really thick shag carpets, so it was very hard for them to move, I had this so they could only go in the kitchen where they could roll around, but he would push her around in it, and that just helped me where I was trying to keep her contained, where I could kind of get his lunch and everything and be able to feed her. So this was by Little Yellow Bicycle. Oh, I love this collection and I love the colors. So fun. I miss all the different companies because, as you guys know, American Craft, this was a huge talk where they let go of so many designers, and I really wasn't impressed. And I think it's because I didn't realize it at that moment. I was just like, I'm just nothing that I have to have, probably because I have so much of maybe those colors, and there was no really boy collection, which I'm always on the search for. But I just felt like, yeah, I had nothing that I had to have. And it wasn't until someone's like, hey, there's no Amy Tan, there's no Dear Lizzie. And then of course everything blew up about how they let go of a lot of their designers, or something happened. But I think that was another part of why I just subconsciously didn't realize that I was not that impressed. So yeah, a little bummed, and hopefully someone picks them up and they're able to continue. So, all right, so here's another one using really old paper. I don't even know what that company, Snip It's from 2002. And I always like to challenge myself using older stuff with newer stuff all the time. And the best way is cut files, die cuts. I talk about it all the time. This is with punches. All right, so here when he finished his little kickers lesson, and that's kind of interesting how that kind of changed. Maybe I got something on it. Oh, you know what I did? It was when I did my ink splatters. I was like, why is that like that? But I just, it was when he got his award and he got his first medal. Here's where my parents came out again. I got this one picture of, actually I think it maybe my husband took this picture of him and my dad walking. So cute, just keeping him busy. We lived in, we had rented a townhome. That was our friends at the time. So it tended to get a little closed in at times. All right, so this is when he started his 2-year program. It was, or not 2-year program, but it's pre-K and it's for 2-year-olds, and it was where they go for, we started the day program that was only for 2 hours. Oh, so it was only 2 hours. Okay, I didn't know this. I thought it was an hour and then they extended it. But then it's like 2 hours and then, no, I think I did that wrong. I had to have looked it up, but I think it's they start for an hour and then halfway through the year they they add an additional hour and then it becomes 2 hours. So that short period of time was like moms would just go get a cup of coffee or maybe run quickly to the store for anything that they needed. But it was just to help them kind of get used to socializing and kind of help them, you know, learn to take that separation. And he actually did really well. He didn't cry or anything. I think he was just excited to see kids. And there they snapped a few photos. And I actually, shortly after, I started talking with the teachers and the director, and then I started working on the church side for that daycare for any church events that they would hold. Or sometimes all the parents would get together and they would all have meetings and I would end up watching their kids. So that ended up working out really nice. And then here we have him. He just wanted to play with his sister so bad. I mean, she was only not even almost 6 months old, and he was just wanting to play with her. So anything that she would do, he would do and kind of mimic, you know, just playing on the mat and playing around. So he would kind of copy, and yeah, he just wanted to play. Oh, this is the Cocoa Vanilla right here, guys. Her flare, the stickers. There is that paper again. Oh, love it. This, I think, is from a silhouette, my silhouette. Yeah, love, love, love. All right, here is a fun one that I did, bringing in a bunch of the Jolie's stickers. I think I used that whole package up just because he, you know, a spoof off of him, you know, pretending he was a chef with his new birthday present. That was a kitchen. And then it says, "Be Our Chef." And, you know, for "Be Our Guest" with Disney. I did not come up with this title. Disney had just released, when I made this, a TV show off of their Disney Plus of Be Our Chef TV show, which is really fun, a real family show that we got hooked on and we watched. So this was fun to make. All right, I'm just trying out again this pocket page and this, you know, loving it. And then here's the back side. This is now for my son's birthday. This is for his 2-year birthday. And he was a little conductor. And that was also his Halloween costume since his birthday is really close. And then there's all his friends. I think this picture is so funny, so I wanted to use it. But again, just using, he had a dinosaur on his shirt, so I just used a cut file. And then I did some inking. And I put "You Are Dynamite." Yes, he's a dynamite kid. He's a great kid. All right, so then, oh, this is, God, why did I use this paper? Look at how cool this shimmery paper is. I think I needed gray and I had to turn it over. I hope I have more of this because I have some other colors that are like this and I love it. I don't know if it shows up on the camera. All right, so we are almost done. Here is his actual, you know, more pictures of his birthday. So wait a minute. I think it's got to go like this. I think I did this wrong. All right, because then it goes into, I don't even know. Actually, I think it's the way that it's set up. Okay, it doesn't matter. I think it actually is supposed to go this way. So even though this is not his birthday and this part is, I couldn't get the pockets to line up, which I don't fuss over that. Because when looking through this, you'll know right away that this was more photos of his birthday, and this was a double page spread that I did. And this was a lot of fun. I used some sassafras. I don't do double pages very often, but at the moment when I documented this on this day, I did a double page because I wanted more photos. And then I just felt like I wanted to add even more on top of that. So that's why I created that pocket page. All right, so then here is taking him to the pumpkin patch. Remember those frame ups and it had the titles and all the matching. In fact, actually here it is. This was by, it doesn't say who, but it was basically stuff like this. I mean, here's the cut apart. I just used the die cut. I just trimmed off the white border, and I used it for, you know, using my quick cuts to create this title. And I really liked how I layered everything up, including the paper. And guess what paper this is? Chatterbox. Yep. Here it is, using it for, that had no embellishments, for a pumpkin patch page. It couldn't be more perfect. On that same day, this is not, I mean, it's not really a double page spread, but it goes along with it. There's basically a little, at the pumpkin patch, they have all this stuff like, you know, you ride the pony and hay ride. So this was I thought, perfect for me to do cowboy, because I knew he wasn't going to have very many photos of a horse on a horse because we just don't have horses. Here I'm using, again, that chatterbox to go along with this layout. Yeah, and I used some October Afternoon. This is really old stickers. Gosh, this was back in the day of Creative Keepsakes University, so CKU. I got this with a little package, and I used those up. So I'm not afraid to mix really old stuff with new. That's actually the best way to use it, because you can end up using it with the current trends on how we use our papers to make it look all updated. All right, so this was documenting him with his very first toothbrush, something I did not do with my daughters. But here is a really old basic gray again. This is using, you know, probably back in 2005, where again, they didn't have any embellishments, and I just tied it with the bingo card, some labels, some stickers, and paper clips and enamel dots. And this is part of a different collection too. This was from their Dawson. Huh. It's funny how I remember some collections and I don't remember names of others. I think there's just so much to remember. All right, so here is me using Ali Edwards. I subscribed to her story kit one year, never even touched them. Years later, I then subscribed, which is now just this past current year. I finished out my subscription. I tried out her story kit by the month because it was smaller. And I was like, I need to put these to use. So I challenged myself to use it, and that's what I did. And I really, really like how this turned out. About him growing up. And then now we're moving on to December. So this is obviously not Christmas time, but I want to document the stories that were not Christmas. And I don't know if you could see him, but the townhouse, the garage was over, his bedroom was over the garage, and so he could wake up and hear his dad every time he would leave to go to work, and he would always take a peek and wave to him, and I thought that was so sweet that I got that photo. Him and his friend for a friend's birthday party, of course, backyardigans. My son was obsessed with backyardigans, which I loved. All right, so then here is Christmas time. Here's that house that I talk about on one of my kids' books. It was either my daughter's or my son's, can't remember, of the father and mother lost their daughter, and so they slowly started building out their collection for outdoor Christmas. And the story is of he was making his house shine as bright as he could so she could see from up above, and I thought that was really sweet. He has not done it in the last year or two, so I hope everything is okay. All right, so then here's just more photos of us during that day, you know, of documenting it. Like I said, we don't have any family pictures. This was it. It's a very hustle and bustle day. All right, I am glad we got these photos. My son thought this was like a playground because he loved his papa's truck and loved to play in the back of it. So he would always, whenever he'd come to visit, that's where he wanted to go. So cute. Yeah, and it's really funny. I had this, I mean, this was like a Americana type of maybe 4th of July or something, a collection. Yep, 4th of July, it says right here. Hello, Desiree. And I just used the backside because I really liked the discreetness of the banners, and I thought that was perfect. I loved this type of cardstock that they created. I don't even know who the maker is, maybe Pink Paisley, I don't remember. All right, so here is another one of those papers that you saw, or not papers, layout from my daughter's album of the same photo. And basically I just took what was left over that paper so I could use it all up, and added different embellishments, but kind of kept it somewhat similar. Used some Maggie Holmes, that was from her embellishment jar, some felt that I had from Freckled Fawn. And then this is the last layout of Working on January. I did include this in because, like I said, I just wasn't taking a lot of photos of me. So when there is one, I try to incorporate of me turning 34, and then just him playing everywhere. I started documenting because I really was kind of bummed that I didn't take, this is when I realized that I really didn't have photos of him playing with his favorite toys. So then I was wanting to make sure that I also document his favorite TV shows. Yeah, so I'm going to continue on doing this because Backyardigans was one of them. I mean, that was his number one, but he had other ones as well. Actually, I think I did document Yo Gabba Gabbas. That was another one of his favorite. That was probably in one of these, I'm sure it's in here, one of these pocket pages. All right, so then this is when we took him over to the Legoland. We took him to the Sea Life Aquarium and we walked around, and really, really small. I mean, he ran through it in like a matter of 5 minutes. I mean, literally it was like, it kind of takes you through this loop and then it's done. And we're like, no, we're going to kind of hang out a little bit longer. More than just 5 minutes, kiddo. But I'm sure it wasn't just 5 minutes, but he booked it and ran all the way to the end. And we're like, no, 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 we gotta take our time and look at everything. So, and then of course at the very end, they have this building of the castle where you get to play with the Legos, which was a lot of fun. All right, everybody, so that is my son's second year. I have not completed his third one. I'm actually working on my daughter's 2 to 3 year album as we speak. And most of those, like I said, I mean, with the exception of when I took a 2-year break from YouTube, I have pretty much all, you know, I make a video out on every single thing that I create. The only time, like I said, that I didn't was when I took that 2-year break, and that was it. So, yeah, I will definitely start doing album shares for you guys at the very end when I complete one, just because it's always fun to kind of see that flip side of how everything came together. All right, everybody, like I said, I am not here, even though I am here right now filming this for you. But when you are watching this, I am away for 4 days. When I come back, I am hoping that during the 48 hours before I take off on my trip, that I complete a couple of layouts that I need to get done for you guys. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. And if you are new to my channel, I do hope you consider subscribing. I would love to have you here, and you all have an amazing day. Bye.